Hi guys, Barrister Sam Fowles clashed with Toby Young from the ironically named Free Speech Union about crime committed by immigrants and those involved in grooming. Sam explained to The Heart of Thinking that anti-immigration sentiment is generally higher in parts of the country where there is little migration, while it's lower in parts of the country where immigration is more evident. Toby dismissed this without any reasonable rebuttal. However, the main disagreement was on the idea of grooming gangs, which Young either pretended not to understand or just showed himself to be a bit thick. Have a listen.
Anti-immigration sentiment is highest in places with lowest or no immigration in there. Pro-immigration sentiment is highest in the places with the highest levels of immigration. And so to say that, people are seeing immigrants coming and stealing our jobs or raping our women or committing higher level of sexual assault, again, Toby was wrong to suggest that they don't. There's no evidence for that. It's just simply wrong. It's based on misinformation.
I'm going to bring Toby in there. Do you want to respond to that, Toby?
Well, I don't think it is based on misinformation. I mean, you may quibble with what Suella Braverman's description of a majority of the perpetrators in the various grooming gang scandals as being Muslims or being of Pakistani origin, but certainly they represent a disproportionately large number of the people involved
that's a lie.
in grooming gangs. And I think what about the various?
Wait, let Toby finish his point, and then I'll come to you, Sam.
But Sam, are you suggesting that only the percentage of people in grooming gangs who are of Muslim Pakistani heritage is no higher than their percentage in the local populations where those grooming gangs have been active? That's surely absurd.
Sam, is that what you're suggesting?
The percentage of people convicted of child grooming of Asian origin is 6%. That is lower than the percentage of people of Asian origin in the population. So yes, that's what I'm saying.
But what about in the areas where the grooming gangs have been operating, Sam? It may be that nationally the figure you've just quoted is correct, but what about in places like Bradford, in places like Rotherham? Surely the number of Muslims in grooming gangs is far higher than their overall percentage of the population in those localities.
Well, given that no one actually collects that data and multiple freedom of information requests have been made to try and obtain it, I think it's completely irresponsible for you to be alleging that based on zero evidence. And in fact, when the national evidence points in the opposite direction. And that.
There you go. Look, what Toby Young seems to be doing here is suggesting, look at these grooming gangs. Majority of them are from Muslim or Pakistani backgrounds. Looking at the grooming gangs in majority Pakistani and majority Muslim communities. But if you're looking at the community where the majority of people in that community is from a particular background, of course you're going to find a majority of the grooming taking place within that background. See, what Toby is trying to avoid talking about, and it seems to he either is avoiding talking about it or he doesn't care about it, is the problem, the crime in general. He's ignoring the crime in general and he's focusing on a small percentage of it, 6%, as Sam pointed out here. So why is Toby Young more concerned with 6% of a population that's carrying out a crime than all of the crime in total? What's his angle here? Isn't it strange? I presume he has a problem with grooming in general. He hasn't specifically said that. We have to be as kind as possible here. So I presume he has a problem with grooming, but he's more concerned with a percentage of the population. Why is that? Surely grooming in general is a bad thing and it should be clamped down and people involved in it should be put in prison. Shouldn't that be the goal? Instead of, well, let's ignore the goal in general and let's focus more on a specific section of the population. And, oh, look, we found a number of Muslims or people from Pakistani background involved in grooming in their communities. This is avoiding the overall issue. What you're doing is trying to suggest that it only happens in those communities, but it happens everywhere. We've seen multiple examples of it, and if only 6% of it is happening in the Asian community, then the rest of the population needs to be dealt with as well. So well done to Sam for pointing this out. But these charlatans need to be challenged. What they're trying to do is set a narrative to make people angry, it seems. Not angry with groomers in general, but angry with groomers from a particular background. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.